Verse 8, Ipe de Avraham, and Abram said, O theos opsate iafto provaton. God will see to himself a sheep. Is olokarposin, for a whole burnt offering, teknon, child. Parevthentes they amphoteri ama, and both going together, he continues in 9, ilthon epi ton topon on epen afto o theos. They came upon the place which God spoke to him. Ke okodomison aki Avraham to thesiasterion, and Abraham built there the altar. So a place that God spoke earlier. Ke apethica taxila, and he placed upon it the wood. Ke sympodhisas Isaac ton ion of 2, and binding Isaac his son hand and foot, apethican afton epi tothesiasterion epano tin xylon. He placed him upon the altar, upon the wood, xylon. Jesus was on the wood, the cross, the xylon. And the comparisons are really dramatic. In verse 10, Ke exetinen Avraham tin hira av 2, lavin tin macharan sphaxe ton ion av 2. And Abraham stretched his hand to take the knife to slay his son. I had a fellow that was homeless that had him spend the night with me in a storm, and I was sitting in the kitchen, and I just felt like asking him. I said, if God was in front of you, standing in front of you, he told you to take a knife and to slay someone, would you do it? And he said no. And I asked another person later that was walking with the Lord if God was there in person and God told you to slay a child, would you do it? And the person said no. It's not an easy thing, even knowing the story, to obey God. If he said to do something like this, some people think this God would be an unfair, unjust God that would do something like that. But yet God did test. If he tested Abraham, I'm sure he's testing us. Verse 11, Ke akalasan afton angelos kiriou ek tu uranu. And an angel of the Lord called him from out of heaven. The angelos, messenger, or a messenger of the Lord, called him. But it sounds like it's God himself. We'll go and see a little bit more of this a little bit later here. And so it was from out of heaven, Uranu, the derivative, heaven, Uranus, the planet. Keipen, Avraham, Abraham. O they Epen, Idhu ego. And he said, behold, it is I. In verse 12, Keipe, mi epivalis tin hirasu epi topadarion, mi they Pieces afto me then. You should not put your hand upon the lad, nor should you do anything to him by any means. Ningar egnon otifovisi ton theon. For now I know that you fear God, the phobia, fear. Ke ukefiso tu iusu tu agapitu the ame. And spared not your beloved son on account of me. Abraham passed the test. Oh, that we would pass the test. And 13, Ke ana vlepsas Avraham ti sapthamisav tu ide. And Abraham, looking up with his eyes, saw. Ke idhu, and behold, krios is kata homenos and phyto savek ton keraton, one ram being held in a plant of a thicket. The savek is not a Greek word. It's a not a transliteration. Well, yes, it's a transliteration from the Hebrew into the Greek. A thicket of the horn, by the horns, the keraton. Ke eporevthi Avraham, ke elave ton creon. And Abraham went and took the ram. Ke aninenken avton is olokarposin anti Isaac to iu avtu. And he offered it for a whole burnt offering instead of Isaac, his son. So the ram took place. The ram has these large horns which can get caught in the thicket. The females don't. Ke ekalasan Avram to onomatu topu akinu, Kyrios Ethan. And Abraham called the name of that place the Lord saw, Jehovah Jireh, as in the King James. For that, the Lord saw. Some people tie it into Mount Moriah, and later where the temple was built by Solomon. I don't know if you can pull that from out of here, but that is taught a lot. Ina iposi Cimarron, that they may say today, into ori Kyrios Ophthi, the Lord was seen in the mountain. And 15. Ke ekalisas angelos Kyriou, ton Avraham devteron, ek tu uranu legon. And the angel of the Lord called Abraham devteron. A second time. We have Deuteronomy, the second book of the law in the Bible. From out of heaven saying, now it certainly sounds like to me it's the Lord talking. Or it could be, you could put here, and the messenger of the Lord called. Verse 16, Kat imav tu, according to myself. Omosa, I swear by an oath, legi Kyrios, says the Lord. So here it's like he is speaking, the messenger of the Lord, being the Lord. Uinikan episas to rima tuto, because you did this saying, ke uk ephiso tu iusu tu agapitu diame, and you did not spare your beloved son on account of me. 17. Emin, evlogon, assuredly blessing. Evlogon, ev is good, and good word, saying a good word, and blessing. Evlogiso, and there's the verb, say, I will bless you. Ke plethino, to spermasu, ostus asteris tu uranu, multiplying, a plethora. There's a derivative for that word. And there's the verb. Sperm, your seed as the asteris. We have an asterisk, or an asteroid from this word. So he is reaffirming what was spoken in chapter 15, verse 5, of multiplying the seed as the stars of the heaven. Ke ostin amon tin para to helos tis thalasis, and as the sand by the edge of the thalasis, the sea, and thalactic is the derivative. Ke kleronomisi to spermasu tas polis ton ipanantion, and your seed will inherit the cities, the polis, metropolis, polis, of the opponents, of your opponents, and so his seed will inherit cities.